Look at you, you figured it out. You cracked the code, and you grew a YouTube following that you can finally start to monetize. You raced to get to this point where you finally have a team of your own, and you can continue growing your company and help define your legacy on YouTube. What started with a single camera and a dream has now turned into a small team with a couple of editors, a videographer, and a hungry producer who, well, let's face it, he doesn't really have the experience, but he believes in you, and so you want to grow with him. Mistake? Maybe. Only time will tell. For now, this is your team. Congrats. And now that you have your team, you assume that everything would be easier. Makes sense. I mean, more people to do work equals more work done, so you should be ahead, but you're not ahead. In fact, you find that you yourself are doing more work than ever before and you're not able to increase your output. Every day it seems like somebody needs something from you, which is taking your mind off of casting the creative vision and being awesome talent and content. And sometimes you wish that you could just fire everyone and go back to the bedroom making content for yourself because it was fun then, and it is not fun now. Well, hey there, buddy boy. I have some unfortunate news for you. You are the bottleneck. So, until you cannot be the bottleneck, you're going to keep having these problems. Hi, I'm Josh, the founder of Upright Media and the host of Press Refresh, and today we're going to talk about the single most important hire that you can make as a content creator. If you only have the budget for one person, this is the best person to add to your team. But first, here's some common issues that I see with creators when they're hiring. The first is creators adding people to their team just to fill positions. Look, your friend who can kind of edit using iMovie is probably not, definitely not, the guy you want as your lead editor. And I'm sure your dad is the man, but just because he's the master of propane and propane accessories does not make him the master of YouTube channel growth and business development.
I work for a living.
It's much better to start adding people to your team conservatively and only adding the right people. If you hire the wrong candidate, it's going to be much harder to reverse your decision in the future. That person will start forming bonds with other people on the team, and more importantly, their contributions will have a huge impact in the early stages of your business. So, if they aren't mission aligned, their misguided contributions could have a huge negative impact. Big red flag. Huge! It's a massive red flag, don't do it. The other issue is that the creator just doesn't hire, and then they get frustrated when they are perpetually underwater and they don't feel like they can enjoy the success that they've achieved. This issue normally comes when the creator has a hard time letting go of control or trusting that someone else could come in and do the job to the same degree of quality control as them. You hear a lot of creators talk about it when it comes to editing, for example. Like, no one will ever know how to edit my content better than me. Well, you figured it out, didn't you? And you're the creator who's doing everything, not just editing. So I'd argue the guy or girl who spent their entire career focusing only on editing might have the tool set to figure out how to edit in your style. Also, if you create style guides and SOPs and checklists for delivery, you can usually help someone get it pretty quickly. But that's a topic for another episode. Okay, I know that hiring the single most influential person on your team is a big responsibility to think about, especially in the early stages. But here are some things to chew on if you're in the situation where you need a key employee added to your team. First, you need to learn how to trust. It is hard to trust people when they don't fully understand what you do. I totally get it. But if you don't trust, you won't be open-minded enough to allow people to succeed or fail and learn from their mistakes, which is a critical component to growth. Steve Jobs once said that it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. Why hire somebody who's got more experience than you or a different skill set than you and then tell them what they're doing is wrong? Wouldn't you hire them to begin with so they could impart new wisdom and knowledge onto you, so they could help guide your business in the right direction? If you're not open-minded enough to that, then don't hire that person. Don't spend the money, because you're just gonna further your stress. Next, don't hire more people than you need to. Be really honest with yourself about your strengths and your weaknesses. Many creatives are not good managers, and that's okay. So look, if you're trying to hire someone to manage your team, pay attention to them, learn from them. Like, if they have more leadership experience than you, you can hire them and then that becomes your education. But without a doubt, do not hire someone who has the same strengths as you. You need someone to counterbalance your weaknesses. Next, be open to the fact that other people can do the job as well as you can. This ties back into trust. If you have the mindset that no one on earth can do your job, then no one will be able to help you. And then where will you go? We all need help to grow. There's a reason that there aren't that many proper YouTube businesses. And maybe proper is the wrong word here, but there aren't many with some semblance of traditional corporate structure. You know, managers, department heads, and a biz dev team. It is a challenge to make the leap from a creator to a creator CEO leading a growing team that you need to hold accountable to getting the job done, day after day, week after week. If we're talking about creator-led businesses, you know, I think you guys probably have some ideas in mind. Dude Perfect, TBNR, Unspeakable, you've got Mythical, Smosh, Sidemen, Mark Rober, ZHC, Bucket Squad, you know, Mr. Beast, obviously. If you look at the grand scheme of YouTube, right, there are around 1,800 channels with over 10 million subscribers who have a diamond play button. About 290 of those are music channels, so they don't count. Sorry, Justin Bieber, sorry, Taylor Swift, sorry, Billie Eilish, you're great, you don't count. Okay, not in this scenario. Then there's a percentage of channels that are publishers as well from traditional media companies like Disney, T-Series, CNN. You don't count either in this case, although, you know, you technically are competing with them, just so you know, like technically that's your competition. But for the sake of this, it doesn't matter. So that boils down to about 1,300 or so channels with 10 million subscribers or above. And yeah, that still seems like a lot, but when you consider there are 113 million active YouTube channels, that is only 0.00115%. 0.00115% of all creator-led channels have made it over 10 million subscribers. That's crazy. And not to say that you must be at 10 million subscribers to have a successful YouTube channel with a decent sized team. We all know there's plenty of other channels who have done this, but we all kind of understand that threshold, right? The diamond play button status. You've made it. You're buying mansions and McLarens. We get it. But if you look at all the companies that have made it to that point and beyond, they all have great teams with incredible leadership who are all there to support and execute the creator's vision. But in order to reach that level, you need to have the right people, and more often than not, that starts with one single strategic hire. Take a second to imagine a world where Steve Jobs did not have Steve Wozniak. All right, they're the classic visionary integrator combination. Jobs had the big ideas and Woz knew how to make them come to life. Now imagine a world where Jeff Bezos couldn't trust other people to help him get past being an online bookstore. We wouldn't have Amazon. We wouldn't have next day or sometimes same day delivery. Imagine a world where Mark Zuckerberg never encouraged Facebook employees to move fast and break things. These are just a few of the countless examples of when industry leaders relied on other people to help them bring their big dreams to life. Had it not been for a level of trust and collaboration, I think we can safely say that those companies would not be where they are today. So, do not be your own hurdle in growing your YouTube business. So, who is the single most influential person you can hire at your company? Here's the twist. There isn't one answer to this question. All right, the answer truly varies based on the type of creator that you are and what your goals are for your business. Depending on the type of creator that you are, one of these might be right for you. First up is the solo creator. If you want to stay small and go the Ryan Trahan route, I would recommend a lead editor who can also shoot video. This is sometimes known as a shredditor. Fun. They will likely be a right-hand person and can do some serious damage as a creative partner. Think about that. You have a person who's going to be on set with you, filming the content, taking mental notes of how they want it to look when they bring it to the edit, and then being able to edit that content with those notes in mind. It creates for a very cohesive creative process from beginning to end. And for gaming channels, this might be an editor who also has experience with machinima or Minecraft map customization. Number two is the content machine. If you're a creator with big dreams of launching new channels and building a big production team to work on multiple videos at a time, I would look at a head of or VP of production. Somebody who really understands the production pipeline will be able to oversee each of your departments. This person should be able to oversee creative and production and post-production. They should be able to interface with brand partners if you have any sort of brand deals going on. Like, this person should be the in-between between you and the rest of the team. Number three, the community builder. If you're trying to build a business around a community, whether that's a free Discord or behind a paywall, or maybe you even want to develop a course, you're going to want a badass community manager. In the early stages, I would consider looking for someone who also has marketing experience as well. You need somebody who understands how to publicly promote your free Discord, get people into the Discord, and then create a funnel into making those people converted paying members. Your community manager should understand the community on a spiritual level. They should be in the chat, talking to people. They should be a fan of what you're doing. Because if they can preach the gospel for you, the community will build itself. That person can go from community manager all the way up to chief community officer based on your business needs. And number 4 is the business baron. If your goal is to leverage your content to launch other businesses like CPG, merch, maybe licensing and retail, and other off-platform revenue opportunities, I would strongly recommend a general manager or even a COO or CEO, depending on your leadership abilities. This is usually a later stage hire, and when I say, based on your abilities, a lot of creators aren't great CEOs, and that's okay. But you should have somebody who can lead the charge, who can help you build. And if you're not that person, totally cool. You can focus on being the CCO, Chief Content Officer or Chief Creative Officer. And then from there, hire your CEO who can really bring these other businesses to life. At the end of the day, when you find the right person to jump in and help grow your team, you'll know it. You'll both be excited by the mission, and you should have a level of trust in each other to do the best work and exceed the performance standards. And if you want to know how much to compensate this person, go watch my video titled How to Properly Incentivize Your Team. And if you don't know where to start and you're looking for some advice, click the link in the description to fill out a 30-second survey, and you could be picked for a free consultation call where I'll brainstorm with you and help you guide your way into making the best decision of your life.